07, everybody. Hello. Hello. Whoops. Hold on. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Okay. So, what do we got? Good. Stream elements and Streamlabs are active. Okay. So, we're going to wait. 07. See what pops up. There we go. Huh. Okay, guys. Hadn't been on in a couple of days. Not entirely not by choice, but yeah. So we are back. We are online. And it looks like all my bots are behaving. For the most part, we shall see. Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah. It's odd. Huh. Okay. Okie dokie. Huh. Alright. It's really odd. Okay. We'll just hang back, wait and see if anybody pops in, and then, yeah. Is nobody popped in? It's weird. It's interesting. Hmm. Seems kind of quiet today. Very. And I'm tired. Freaking kick. Thank you for the follows, Mike Phantom and Croca Koa. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. All right. Sorry, I'm taking a bit of a break. I was taking a bit of a break for a few days. Had to get some stuff in order. Yeah. Apologies. Ugh, my goodness. All right. I am here in 10 minutes. Gonna start running a contest. Or try to. Hopefully, we get enough people to do this. But we'll see. Odd. waiting back. No. Come on. Okay. So I'm waiting for people on Twitch to join. I don't know if anyone will, but we'll see. God, I'm tired.
So, the moment. So you're Zane's brother? Don't take this.
Oops. Yeah, sorry. Copyright. That's going to get copywritten badly. Oops. Sorry, my microphone got muted for some reason. Anyways, I was saying I'm waiting to see how many people join in here so that I can run a contest for a giveaway or two. Kind of a thank you for my community and stuff. Just to see if anyone's interested. I'm testing the waters a bit. See what I can give away, yeah. It's going to be some small things today, but eventually I'm hoping to be giving away some bigger items. Hopefully ships, some bigger ones, that's for sure, soon. I do mean very soon. All you have to do is press exclamation ticket to enter the contest. Everyone's welcome to enter. It's just for some goodies that I've picked up the last couple of weeks. So I was just wanting to see what sort of interest there was in that. So everyone's open to running it, and yeah, it's open to everybody. All right. All right. See if anyone's good enough to run in the contest. Yeah. Oh, while we wait, we're gonna watch Elliot. or whoever it was today. Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. So close image and display capture. Ooh, shoot. Okay.
My promise to like everybody in Star Citizen is that I will bring you close to satisfaction without ever fully delivering it. So it just bounces and bounces. And it gets close to the corner every couple of times, but
Good show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Star Citizen Live Industrial Gameplay. I'm your host, Jared Huckabee. And if you've never seen Star Citizen Live before, it's where we take about an hour out of the end of our week and we chat with CIG developers. Sometimes I ask them my questions. Sometimes I've asked them your questions. This is one of those shows where I ask them your questions. So we got about 30 or some pre-taped, and then of course there'll be whatever ones pre-taped. It's not pre-taped. It's live. Syllabus. Plus, we'll take some questions from chat. So we're just going to jump into it. Let me introduce you to our two esteemed,
Steamed?
They ask, like, hey, Jared, do you need anything to prep for the show? And I'm like, nah, I've been doing this 11 years. I got it. You got something. Our two esteemed guests joining us recently relocated here to the Manchester studio permanently, so I get to see you every day I want to and just get to walk up and be like, hey, Torsten, what's going on? Look, I didn't put my hand on it. You thought I was going to do it. You thought I was going to do it, and I didn't. And then audio guy gets angry anytime I do this. Torsten, tell everybody who you are and what you do for Star Citizen.
Hello, I'm Torsten. Lead systems designer.
Now, what does lead systems designer do?
So every gameplay that you encounter in the Star Citizen universe somehow went through our team's hands at some point, and that is basically our responsibility. Well, we have...
I was going to say, you just said every gameplay. Okay. Yeah. Send your letters to Torsten Lyman, care of 6 Manchester Goods Street. It's all your fault. Go ahead. Congratulations.
It's all our fault.
You just took responsibility for everything.
Well,
Including mine.
someone has to take responsibility.
Just why?
Yeah, that's it.
Why?
How do you
Why?
think the show's going so far?
You're killing it.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's got this light. Anytime I do this, the audio guy's like, stop doing this. They make it hard to hear. What if I talk like this? 11 years. Elliot. No, it's not. It's above. I did this. This is a perfectly natural and normal way to hold your face.
You're like your Spock reading your own mind.
Elliot. My mind to my mind.
Yeah.
My thoughts to my thoughts. Elliot, who are you and what do you do?
Hi, yeah, I'm Elliot. I am the lead mission designer, and I put a bow on Thorsten systems and give players money for engaging with them, I guess.
All right. You build all the missions and stuff that drive people to the systems and drive people to exploring and experiencing all the systems that he and his team.
You'd agree, right, Thorsten? Right? Don't you?
Does your work?
These guys
work
are
without his work?
entertaining.
Does my work?
These guys are funny.
I mean, no, actually, because we need the systems in the game to function. So, yeah, it's true.
And does your work matter if there's no systems driving people to experience them?
We don't care about.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why we're a team.
All right. So the boss is in Australia. I'm sure he's not watching right now. What time is it there? I'm sure he's asleep. If he is watching, I'm sorry. So as we are wont to do,
boss is
sometimes
angry.
we put up a thread up on Spectrum, which is the bespoke communication platform available on robertspaceindustriescom. Yes, I'm still shilling for it 10 some odd years later, where you guys get to submit your questions, vote up on which ones you wanted to see answered most. We ignore the voting whatsoever and pick the ones that we want to talk about. And that's what we've done today. So we've got a list here in no particular order. We're going to start with the first question. What is your plan to make industrial gameplay actually fun?
Which one of us is that for?
Isn't it fun already? Well, so there are definitely things that can still be improved, but I think we already have some well-working industrial gameplay loops. So mining has a huge fan base, salvage has a huge fan base. They also specifically target different type of player groups. We have refueling somewhere still in the background of all the existing mechanics that is still there. There are some plans to improve it in the not too distant future, but
You heard it here first, folks. Refueling is there.
yeah. So there are a lot of industrial gameplay loops that we already have, and they work right now in isolation, and they work more. Some work better, some work can be improved, but overall then there's the up and coming. So some of you might have already played the tech preview for crafting, but yeah, that is basically the end goal that every industrial gameplay loop that we have will actually tie into. So moving forward, and basically that will be also covered by a lot of the questions that you asked, we will always come back to, because we have crafting now and because crafting is right around the corner, everything will start to tie back into together or tie into each other, and then we will finally have a full gameplay loop that is then called the industrial gameplay loop. And then way later, when we have base building, we will basically fulfill a full circle where we then start with the normal player-to-player, ship-based industrial gameplay loops into crafting, into base building, and then with the location-based industrial gameplay loops. So to answer the question, is it fun? Answer the question for yourself. If there's something that you enjoy, it's fun for you.
So you're telling him to look inwards.
Of course.
Okay. There we go.
It's like that's the benefit of Star Citizen. We have so many gameplay loops. You can pick what you like and you can enjoy it. And you can play it actually like we are one of the few games where you can, I wanted to say waste a lot of time in just one gameplay loop, but you can spend a lot of time in that gameplay loop and enjoy your life.
I like it.
I told the other people in marketing that on the show today had Torsten and Elliot, and no joke, they looked at me and went, "Oh, are you still going to have a job at the end of this?" Wow.
Because of him?
No, because of the comment. You always. I'm going to step in here. You always come from a very pragmatic, a very self-deprecating point of view. But I want to point out that in the years since cargo was first introduced, before your time here. The years since mining was introduced, you got to start with mining and it's like this. These systems have evolved tremendously, since their first versions. It's always there's a bit of a Star Citizen meme, and there are many Star Citizen memes. This is T0, T1. We have seen mining and cargo and salvage as these industrial gameplay loops continue to iterate. Year after year after year. Mining is a far throw from where it was when it started. We recently just had another big revision to salvage, where salvage isn't the best place it's ever been. Your first version of engineering. Just kind of I was just in a meeting where they were talking. You were presenting new improvements and the evolutions to engineering stuff. These things continue to evolve and will continue to evolve. So, what is your plan to make industrial gameplay actually fun? Is a bit of a trick question, because it's literally the entire purpose of your existence here.
Yes, I would say so.
It's like I half expected you to say, like, I spend every minute of my life in this goal. I hope I achieve it someday. But I liked your answer. Like, would you say look inward?
Look inward.
Yeah. No. It's one to say it's hard too, because not every gameplay loop is for every person.
Yeah, that's salvage and versus mining is actually one good example there. You have the hull scraping, which is more relaxing. You put on some music, you do something on the side, but you still feel productive in the game. Versus mining, where you have to pay attention to not blow yourself up. Yes.
It's like this little cozy gaming kind of thing, where you just kind of sit back and write your name in the hulls of ships.
Yeah.
And only your name.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Which is funny.
Can we have more variety in industrial missions?
Yeah.
Cool. Moving on.
Yeah, so when we do some missions like this, we try to go at it and be scalable, so that as we build more and more systems and more locations, these missions can populate into other systems and always give players something to do. So our first delivery was that. It was something that was scalable, that was fun and open, that players can sort of choose how they come at it. However, we definitely want to keep adding it and have things like Shubin are asking you to go mine their mining claim. They own this mining claim. They own these pieces of rocks. They've given you exclusive rights, and they want you to go there and mine it for them. We want Battaglia back, and we want her to have missions where she's
Did it
sending
not
you to
rename itself?
go do scouting missions. So you don't have to mine the rocks, but she wants you to go out, and she goes, I need you to find me 10 of contain iron, and in the future when crafting comes online, it's like, I want you to find me 15 that have a quality over the value of 400 or something like that. So we
had an
definitely
issue
want more
crop
variety
up.
in our
Hold
industrial
on.
missions, because what we've got right now is the base level. It's the foundation of industrial missions. It's the idea of
It
this
did it
location
again.
wants a bunch of resources. You choose how to get them. You use whatever tools are at your sandbox control to do it, whatever tools Torsten gives you, and then you look inward for the fun.
You mentioned Battaglia. We're working to bring. What are you laughing at? We're working to bring Battaglia back, hopefully later this year.
We are. We're working very hard. I have been reviewing the stuff we've been building for it, and it's very fun. So why are you smiling, Torsten? Have faith.
Why are you
It'd be
smiling?
good. We experimented with mission givers however long ago, and then they fell to the wayside because other priorities and stuff like that. But being able to bring back mission givers will be
I don't know what that was all about,
a
Chad.
nice new addition to that.
Sorry
kind of
about
stuff.
that.
You can only look at a movie glass so much. Yeah. These new industrial missions, these new ones that just went online, was it last week?
Something like that.
What were those? In case people don't know that a brand new set of industrial missions went online just last week.
So we introduced the new industrial missions, and basically inside of that is the salvage and mining.
Sorry
So
about that, chat.
What happens is a
For
faction
some
asks you to
reason-
gather resources for them and bring it to their location. So they'll ask for sort of
Sorry, Chad. Everything went kerplooey for a moment.
or whatever resources we have in our game, and the player is tasked to retrieve them by any means necessary. So the main way that players will engage with this is via the mining and refining loops. That's the most obvious. However, players can also purchase these and turn them in, or players could pirate other players and steal them and turn them in if they didn't want to engage with that mining. So they're kind of like this open Lego
odd.
box and you choose how you build the mission yourself. You kind of go, okay, I'm going to do it like this or this. We also did other salvage ones. So we introduced FPS salvage, and by FPS salvage, I don't mean FPS hull scraping. I mean, we give you actual missions that require you to gather components off of a ship, whether it be shields, weapons. We have missions that are like, hey, just go get me a bunch of size 0 weapons or size this weapons, components. We have some bugs of it that we're looking into and we're trying to fix to allow you to sort of do the existing salvage claim missions that Adagio offer, so you can do those, pay for the salvage rights, salvage those ships, and then put them straight into the resource gathering mission if you so wish. We also put time into trying to do a simplistic intro for these, where the player is sent to a cave near the outpost where they have to drop off and asked to go in and find one little gem of aphorite. And the same thing with the salvage. We give you this first ship so you can understand it and how it works. Just so it's a better sort of onboarding experience for new players who haven't ever like engaged. Oh, I'm a combat fighter. I've never done this. How do I do it? So we can give them that sort of the tools to understand if there's fun.
One of the reasons why we have the signatures now for the caves.
Yes. We took a while to get working, but we figured it out.
And it was Deck who figured it out.
Yes.
Overnight.
Yes. Yeah, we had this cave and we had a signature, so when you're like going around scanning for it, it'd pop up. And the marker was never there. And the radius was set to something like 4 million.
Yeah.
So 4 million miles away, you'd see the cave. But it never popped up for, I don't know, like, it's not been there since I've been here, so like good 6-7 years. And then Deck looked into it and was like, the marker was set to be invisible.
Yes.
And we're like,
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah, we fixed it.
Happens.
Game dev, it's just fun.
That's your one.
Oh shit. Oh.
This is what the people in marketing were talking about.
My colorful language.
Let's jump around to some of these industrial professions here. Let's do a cargo question here. Has the team devised any plans for a cargo manifest MFD of some kind that tells you what you have aboard your ship, possibly where it's located, maybe using the same 3D view from the engineering panel? It seems strange that third parties who scan our ship have a better idea of exactly what we have aboard than our captains or crew do. WTF, Torsten. That's what it says in there.
Okay. Yeah. So we have plans to do a manifest. We don't work on it right now to do the precise manifest of you and your ship owning. You can have this nice overview, but there is a feature coming soon that also would benefit a lot from a more like precise manifest, or you as the player knowing exactly what is on your ship.
Hang on just a minute, chat. If everyone can hear me. What I wish is if there are people in chat or otherwise, if you would be so kind. Hold on just a second. Window capture close. I would appreciate if some kind folks would help me out here. I don't know if it's going to work or not, though. Let me see if it's working. Who's the entrant? Oh. Only I have entered so far. I would appreciate if some other people would enter the contest. So, back to Thorsten.
Yeah. So we are working our way towards a better overview of what you have on your ship. It's small steps that we take here because it's only so much time we can take off for some development to actually investigate here.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, we will end up with hopefully a full MFD or full screen that gives you an overview of what is actually on your or cargo grids, depending on the ship.
What's the other feature that would benefit?
Well,
You can tell me. No, everybody else, earmuffs.
no.
Okay.
You can ask Elliot.
Elliot, what's the feature?
Do I know the feature?
You should.
Isn't it a secret? What's the feature?
You might have to remind me.
Let's move on.
At this point, we've built too much of the thing up.
It's okay.
Maybe I say it randomly and you can go, that's the one. Maybe we do that.
Yeah.
People have changed. I thought you were all about open development.
We still like surprising people.
What's the status on ship-based refining? Seems like a critical role with crafting coming.
There
That
we
is
go.
correct. It is a very critical role for crafting. So
There we
yeah, it
go.
will not be part of the first crafting release. So what we want to do is, like, for crafting as well as for engineering gameplay, it's a more long-term investment from our side. So we will like build up on the basis that we built, and right now what we have in tech preview, and some of you might already have played it in tech preview, that is the basis that we want to start with. So we start
I'm
with
running a giveaway.
maybe FPS equipment for now.
Anyone
And then
interested?
expand further on. One of the bits is actually the refining rework, because we already talked about it several times, but the way that resources work will behave very different to what we have right now in the live game when crafting comes in. So Elliot also mentioned it right now, like minutes ago, where we have quality suddenly being part of that, the resources. And quality then also needs to be like accounted for in the refining process, and that results all into the refining that we have right now will not exist the way it exists right now anymore. It will all update, and we take that time that we use for the update then to also update the ship-based refining, the station refinery, and then as last step the base building refining step.
No FPS refining, right? Just having to crank a wheel or something.
Well, we have the crafters. Technically, the crafters are capable of doing like small refining jobs, but that is undecided at this point.
In regard to reputation for industrial professions, are there any plans to expand what we get from improving said reputations? Rewards and perks instead of just extra missions. Is more work a good reward?
Well, I don't know. I keep getting it. Yes.
A good deed goes on.
Yeah, I know. Everyone is aware that obviously the sort of progression in our game right now is
Kind of funny.
100%. The way we're going with reputation is that as you grind it out with whatever factions, you get rewards like new blueprints to craft, you'll get skins, items, and also new missions will unlock via that. That's the ultimate way. So like if we think about the industrial missions, as you start crafting through that, maybe they give you the blueprint for making the mining heads that you currently have to purchase. They give you blueprints to make mining bags that are empty and bits and bobs like this. And you know, in the future, they give you the blueprints for actually being able to make the ship to engage with that kind of gameplay or improve your ability in that kind of gameplay, going from like a prospector to a mole, things like that. So 100%, it's something that we want.
Giveaway is still running,
something
folks.
we're trying to take baby steps towards because we want it sooner. We have a full design, but the full design is like harder to get to. So we do, you know, as the memes you said, tier 0.
Giveaway
all
is
that,
still
so we
running,
take baby
folks.
steps
Be
towards
sure
it.
to enter.
Is he right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's jump to. We've done a little bit of cargo, a little bit of mine refining. Let's go to salvage. Are there any plans to generate dynamic salvage claim contracts when a ship goes from owned to game rules?
Yeah, no, it's something that we want to do. There are plans, just plans. We want to have it so that we can have missions spawn dynamically based on this. So if you leave your ship outside anywhere, we can have a intelligence system that goes, right, this one's going to be salvage claim. It's not going to be every ship. Performance reasons, we need to just clean some of them up. But there will be ships that we go, okay, right, this one we're going to keep and we're going to assign Adagio are going to sell the rights to it, or a player is going to get a mission that takes you directly to it. Because obviously,
Be right
apart
back.
from just like a forceful cleanup to help with performance, we also can utilize players via missions and paying you. Have you clean the game up for us? One thing I would love to do, because I keep seeing it on Reddit, is when people go to a shop and there's a load of bottles all around the shop and they all pick it up and put it in the bin, and I'm like, I want to make that bin work so much.
We had a system for that plant where you
Where
get
is it?
actually rewarded for throwing in trash into the bins.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, it is on hold.
Ah, right.
Yeah, Chris is always very into systemic solutions instead of artificial rules for stuff. And, you know, we have cleanup rules because it's a necessity for where we are in the game, in the game's development. But he has talked repeatedly over the years about wanting, if somebody leaves a ship, that should become a salvageable thing. If somebody's leaving trash, there should be gameplay to, you know, to pick it up, what you just said, and put it in the bins. He would much rather design systemic solutions that the players can engage in order to maintain, you know, the performance of the universe, rather than these artificial rules that just come in and magically make things disappear and stuff like that. It's the amount of conversations that have happened over the years about cleaning up bottles and putting them in cans and salvaging ships that are abandoned, or wreckages that, you know, that are left over and stuff. It's just it's all there. It's just like anything else. It's finding the time and the resources.
Wait till we start making missions where if people leave the ship and press the button to reclaim it, there's a mission where someone's got to go get the ship and take it all the way to where you live.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. You don't get your ship back till somebody goes and tows it back.
Couple of weeks, minimum. Realism.
I believe there was a question about the SRV. Yes, are there any plans to use the SRV in salvage recovery missions, aka tow a shipwreck to hangar or junkyard?
We have plans for sure. We've prototyped it once or twice, but there are issues with it as to why we don't want to release it just yet. Like edge cases we need to sort of clean up so that it's not abused.
While we're on salvage, why not? Can we have a bumper dumping button so we can stop suffering?
Actually, that is very high on our quality of life list for salvage improvements. So yes.
Just a one button.
Yeah, it's
clear
just
the buffer.
Yeah, it's clear buffer.
Where would it go? Would it just disappear, or would it actually?
No, no. It's just gone.
Okay. And when you say very high on your list, that's like next week, or?
No, high on the list just means it is like we have, like every feature we release, we always have like lists of things that we want to improve. And if we get the allowance to work on those things, then we work from top to bottom. And I can tell you this is definitely in the top 5.
Okay.
For the guy who goes, we don't do when questions, you just ask the when question.
I checked the show with Benoit 2 weeks ago. I was asking him a bunch of them. I'm at a point in my time here where I'm like, if they were going to do anything to me, they would have done it by now.
Let's hope he's not watching from Australia.
Hi, Chris. How different will ship refining be compared to station refining? Just jumping all over the place here.
Yeah, it will be. So, station refinery right now will not be the refining method that you will have on your ship. But also moving forward, station refinery will not be what it is right now.
Back to what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, so back what we were saying earlier. So it will be the same gameplay. Full stop. So we will, like the moment that the new refining method comes in, it will be shared between player-driven and station-driven. The only thing that the station does for you is, it's done by an AI. It's done by the station versus you have a player doing it for you.
Just looking at chat. Spoken like a true, doing it for the paycheck? What, Ryan Mac Gamer? What are you talking about?
Bun him.
You just ban. Hold on. Can I time a person out?
Where's Knight Rider?
Do I have the ability? Oh, I do have the ability. Ryan Mac Gamer timed out for 600 seconds. Nice. paycheck. You wouldn't say that if you saw no man. All right, we're gonna do this next question. It's kind of a big one, and we're all gonna try really hard not to piss off half of our fan base. Okay, remember, try really hard.
Okay, we've got this. You ready?
Many players love the idea of building a second life in the complex, high-fidelity sci-fi universe you all have worked so hard to realize. Who wrote this, Mom? Can you again confirm how you intend for players to enjoy industrial gameplay without there being a need for armed protection, PvP readiness at all times? Your messaging has been mixed, and Spectrum continues to flare up on the issue. Thanks.
Next question. So, Star Citizen is a living and breathing world. So, with the ultimate plan, the plan that we're aiming towards is we'll have systems that have different security rankings, right? The idea that we talked about at CitizenCon was Stanton is a high-sec system, and Pyro is low-sec. So, because of the current implementation of law and sort of we don't have the law ships coming in and responding like as we want in Stanton. Right now, players can pirate in Stanton with little to no consequence at all. It's the exact same as Pyro. There's little to no consequence at all. So what we want to go towards is that, say you're going to, I don't know, craft something, right? And you need X amount of this really rare material, right? It's in abundance in Pyro, but it's not in abundance in Stanton. The idea is you can mine in Stanton, but it will take longer, and it's quite likely that you're going to be safer because of the law system when we evolve it. You'll be safer, but it's not impossible. You can still get pirated. You can still get attacked by players. You could even still get attacked by like AI pirates, right? Whereas if you go to Pyro, you know, the goods will be in such abundance that it's easier to find, but it's so much higher of a risk for you to get attacked by AI or players. So the answer is, ultimately, there's always going to be a risk of being attacked by another player or an AI. The difference will be per system, it will be either higher or lower. So you can make an informed decision. So in Stanton, you're meant to be pretty much safe, but it's not going to rule out the fact that you're going to get attacked.
You're meant to be more safe than you will in Pyro, perhaps not as safe as you would in like Terra.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the short answer to this. And Elliot, you actually acquitted yourself very well there. Thank you.
Thank you for the follow, Arthur.
The answer is the law system is not where we want it to be.
Yeah.
That's essentially the slug line, the 10-cent version of that. There will always be conflict. There will always be some chance of having your day rained upon, just like there is in the real life. But if we do our job right and we continue developing the game the way that we want to, the systems that we're still waiting on, remember how long we waited for server meshing to this? If the systems we're waiting on come online as they're supposed to, eventually this will grow into a place where those changes in security and everything are obvious to the players, and you will be allowed to make those decisions for yourself. Do I want the high risk, high reward of Pyro, or do I want the safer, more secure experience of Stanton? It's never going to be as simple as PvP players or PvE players or Care Bears or griefers or whatever pejoratives you want to throw. It's never going to be that simple. It's not that simple in real life. We're not aspiring to build something that simple in black and white.
Hold on just a second, chat. Thank you for the follow. Whoever just followed. Let me see. Let's see. Guess I didn't follow. That's odd. Or they did and just didn't record it. It's odd. Hardly nobody's watching this. That sucks. Wow. And that is sucky. Look at that. 1.2 average viewers. Thank you for the follow. Yeah. Anyways. See if anyone's... Nope, no one's interested. Okay. Alright. So, let's continue. Alright. Darn it. Okay. Window capture on. Oh, wrong window.
For Star Citizen, it's one of those things. It's hard to always picture where we're going based on where we are and where we've been. But I actually think we've been rather consistent in this messaging. The question says that we're not, and I think that's more about people hearing this part and not that part on any given stage, or people regurgitating this part and not that part, or maybe there have obviously been times over the years where we haven't been as clear as we should have been. It's a mixture of everything. But the goal has always been the same. A living, breathing, diegetic universe of risk versus reward. Just where do you want to go? Where do you want to go and how do you want to play? We intend to cater to as many different groups as possible. I think Rich Tyler said it.
It was 2 years.
Sure.
2 years ago during it's we're not a PvP or a PvE game. We're an everything game.
Yeah, we just want to have like areas where you feel very protected.
Yep.
So where the security has like very short response times and is able to arrive in time before you explode.
Yep.
So those people that are like not that into PvP, they have the AI protectors helping them.
Yep. Rhino Separath says, actions, not words. To which I will say, look at the game today versus the game 3 years ago versus the game 3 years before that versus the game 3 years before that. The actions are there. We just have to keep going. And we will. All right. Let's do another cargo mission, or cargo question. Will we be able to pack and unpack uncontracted cargo into smaller or bigger containers?
Uncontracted?
Or contracted. Did I read that wrong?
Yeah, so contracted, I'm not too sure.
So,
I'd like it as well. I've got a question about that, but yeah.
You want to unpack them as well?
Yeah, well, if I give the player, like, one of the problems we have. Sorry, we're going a bit off. One of the problems we have is, so you know when we did the Alliance Aid event, right?
Yeah.
And we had the cargo missions, and we had to give players 8 SU boxes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's because I want to serve an average playership size, and 8 SU is currently the average playership size.
I see.
So what I'd prefer to do is go, hey, here's 200 SU you have to do, and then they use your system and go, okay, right, I'm going to unpackage and repackage.
I see.
And
Okay.
then I can choose it for the massive raft that I've got compared to I'm going to move 201 SU boxes because all I've got is like a Pisces or something.
Well, good news. So there is a system already in place. So the design is already written. It's just waiting for some engineers to be able to start working on it, which is allowing us to actually like split larger boxes into smaller, or even combine smaller boxes into larger boxes. It comes with a fee. It's at least the intent as of now. But yeah, so we want to give the possibility on the actual like station inventory level
That's
that you
funny.
use it there to repack your boxes into smaller or bigger boxes.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think that's to your point. You had it. It's like not everybody has the ship that has the right configuration for doing submissions. I think the Mustang Alpha only has 4 SCU. Somebody's going to be like, that's wrong. How do you possibly not remember what the SCU of the Mustang Alpha was? And I'm going to be like, I'm old.
But in most missions start you off at like what 6?
Yeah,
SU?
all the missions start if you're off at 6,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, we're getting the courier missions back soon, aren't we?
Yeah, no, we are. We're working on. We split it up into 3. So we do courier, delivery, and then hauling. And the idea and the separation between them is courier will be one-handed items. So I don't want to say a burrito, but an example would be a burrito that you can put in your backpack. A two-handed box, which people who played this game a while back might remember the little two-handed boxes you walk around with. So that's courier. Then delivery is how we bridge the gap between courier to hauling. So delivery will start at 1 SU box, and it will go up to a total of 6 boxes of 1 SU. We don't go above the 1 SU size, which will help bridge that gap, and then players can do the hauling. And when I say it links them, it's not that you can't do hauling until you've done a bunch of courier and then a bunch of delivery. We'll offer them all straight away. But the idea is if you're a new player and you've only got, the Mustang or a smaller ship like the old Aurora or whatever, you'd start there, you'd earn money via doing this gameplay, and then you'd, rent a new ship or buy a new ship from New Deal or whatever.
Gotcha. People are excited for a burrito delivery mission, so now you have to do just a solo burrito. Interstellar hauling.
Could you imagine?
Our Corp to Nick's 1 burrito.
If I ordered like takeaway and someone put a singular burrito on a shelf,
It's takeout.
and was like, "Yeah, put it over there for you," I'd be livid. Like,
You're selling it to me, dude. You're not talking
what?
me out of it.
What about an Amazon locker? If you had to go to an Amazon locker to get your burrito out of it, you still sold? Yeah.
Who knows what the 30th century is going to be like?
Whatever, we'll do it. What do you think, Tom?
I still want like same location delivery missions.
Mentally connected, also coming. The DCs, the distribution centers. One of the things we're going to do for the delivery pilot missions is you're going to get missions to move boxes between the wings of the same DC. So you get your little vehicles, load it up on boxes, and truck on round, and then take them off again.
I used to beg Todd Pappy for the stupidest mission in the world. This is the absolute truth. I said, I want a mission. I would love a mission where it's just, it's like from Jared, it's from Disco or whatever, and it says, I've lost my keys. Can you help me find my keys? Like you get it from a kiosk, and the keys are sitting right on top of the kiosk. And you're just like, pick it up, and it's great, deliver, and you just, like there, you never have to take a step anywhere. It's just the dumbest, most pointless mission with my name.
How much are you going to pay them for that?
Totally not
Okay, we'll talk
surprised.
with economy about
But
it.
I used to like just a mission to find my keys, and they're right there. I just tried. Bring back the racing missions. It's not really industrial.
Well, no, but we have a bunch of missions, like the courier ones, that I don't want to say died, but broke when we did 4.0. The systems changed, and it was quite a lot to get back. The racing missions are also one of them. They require, it's kind of like a multifaceted thing to get them working. It requires a little bit of us, a little bit of engineering, a little bit of UI, sort of to get it all together. However, we also want to look at the experience of it. One thing that we found really frustrating, and I know players did as well, was I get my ship, I fly 30 minutes to get to the racetrack, I bungle out on the first fucking corner, and then I'm like, right, let's get that flight suit, let's reclaim that ship, let's wait. We want to have and try to get a nicer experience for racing missions than what is currently, ages ago there was all talks about having some form of like a little platinum bay right next to the station, maybe a little med zone, boom, boom, back in the ship, round the track. Because we want racing in, we also want it to be fun and accessible.
We're gonna need to get a button next time Elliot's on the show.
What's my button for? I'm making an active effort. It's just
I know.
Whoa!
We have the same vocabulary. The only difference is I'm trained to crush it here.
yeah. You've had 11.
Outside of the show, I'm very blue. I'm in sad, not. No, I'm just kidding. the plan to make industrial multi-crew gameplay more impactful in a forced multiplayer, i.e. mining and salvage?
We did already a lot to improve the multi-crew experience there. I think we did more on the mining side than we did on the salvage side. So I don't know if, yeah. So one thing we did was the making use of the instability, for example, for mining.
Multiple lasers, being able to shore up
So
the
if
rock.
you're in different ships, multiple lasers will increase the instability. If you're in the same ship, multiple lasers actually won't affect it too much. So that encouraged players to use the mole, especially for the instability rocks, or the harder to crack instability rocks. Or at least that was our intention back then. And it somehow worked. There's definitely still like room for improvements in regards to like true multi-crew multiplayer gameplay. I think like not industrial, but engineering gameplay also like already moves into that segment. For salvage, it's a bit harder to achieve because of just the mechanics that we have for salvage, because they are like either you point a scraper beam on the surface or you basically align a ship into a deconstruction field. So there it's a bit harder to find like meaningful multi-crew or multiplayer gameplay mechanics. But like especially on the salvage side, we have like huge ships where it's like very, very beneficial if you have a lot of players on the ship. Like talking about the reclaimer, it is like very useful if you have someone in the cargo hold already unpacking the filler stations. But moving forward, what our goal is here is also like less like being like in this island features where we want to have the multi-crew, because we are like this, like we really want to tie in all the features together with crafting. And that means that we rely, or players will have to rely more on other players to do their job in a very, very good way so that they also can benefit from it. Like what I'm talking about is if you have a miner that basically is very effective in finding and mining the high quality resources, and then in the far future or in the not so far future, you have then the refiner that then brings in the refining process they have on their ship and then refine it, like even increase the quality or retain the quality or do something that helps the then crafter to actually be able to craft the perfect gun, the perfect chip component for you. So this is like, sure, you can do it alone, but that time and effort you have to put in alone is just tremendously like lower if you have friends, or if you even don't have friends and you just pay people in the verse to do your job.
Which one are you?
Second.
Yeah, I was thinking that almost every Star Citizen developer can be divided into one of two camps. The ones who say soon a little too easily, and the ones who say far, far future a little too easily. Chat's picking up on how often you say the far, far future. I'm saying that.
My far future is the next weekend.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I've actually been thinking for the last 20 minutes how to explain this difference. There are people here who have to live. What's the line from Fast and the Furious? I live a quarter mile at a time. There are people here who live like one patch at a time. Like it's the ones who have to deliver what's happening right now. They're actually down in the code, down in the stuff. So anything beyond the next patch seems like a universal way, and it really skewers the timetable. For years with multiple weekly shows and stuff, I could never think of something more than 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away was this impossibly far. So what I'm saying is, just like I would caution you to, what you read into when someone says soon, caution the same thing when Torsten says far. None of the people in here are in charge of the schedule. So we're not making any comments related to that. Elliot?
Yeah?
Why do event missions keep using a bunch of smaller boxes for the mission size instead of the larger ones?
Did we rewind to the conversation me and Torsten just had a couple of minutes ago?
Yeah.
So,
But why do you do
But why? So it's the same thing. I'll go over it again. What I talked about with Thorsten a few minutes ago is, so when we do an event, we make it for everybody. We want it to engage every type of player we had, because we have so many different types of players. And one of the fun things about events, or that can be fun, and we saw with Alliance Aid, is all of these peoples of different walks of life coming together, right? Everyone being in this station in Levski, running around, all doing the little bits, whether they're going out to go murder a load of, Moraine gang, or maybe they're like transporting goods. So with that, we look at the average ship size that's owned by players. And it comes out at the SCU is around 8 SCU. So we sometimes go lower than 8, sometimes we stay at 8, but we don't want to give really big boxes, because then some people can't engage in some form or fashion. But that's only a temporary thing we're doing until the system Thorsten was on about comes online, where you can choose the size of your box, because that means in the future when we do these missions, we're just going to tell you how much SCU we need at the end destination, and how you split that up into box sizes is completely up to you as the player doing this.
Yeah, it feels like either the system Thorsten was describing, where you could split the boxes up, or something dynamic in Mission 2.0 that looks at what ship you currently have spawn and then goes, okay, this thing has a storage capacity of this, so I will generate boxes of this side. There's some combination of the two, maybe.
The problem with like the mission auto-detecting it, right, is say me and Thorsten are mates, and we're both playing, and we've both got a dead small ship. We then want to split it up, maybe for his ship, because owns a bigger one, or maybe we're going to do one run at the same time in 2 small ships. So instead, I want to break it up into smaller boxes. So we know it's not perfect. It's something we want to get better at, but we need the system to be able to do that.
We touched on this a little bit, Thorsten. I want to get it in and get it clearer here. Any plans to release fueling or towing missions this year?
Yes.
Trying to think of what I want to say. Yes, and there'll be a discussion on that soon. The poor Starfarer has languished for some time.
4 years.
Huh?
4 years.
Starfarer came out in 2016.
Yeah, but the functionality came out for it. It was my first thing I worked on here. There haven't been missions for it. It's
See much pain in that face. Much pain.
I was talking about this. Been talking about it a lot, because there might be a new refueling ship coming.
Oh God! Why?
Barry says it.
There is a new refueling ship coming.
Really?
In the very far.
Oh God! Kill me now.
So we've been talking about this. Refueling sort of sits with the medical gameplay is this one where it's not really supported by the gameplay, like the story and the gameplay we provide. It kind of relies on other players. Like you have to wait for another player to get shot and wounded before you have something to do as a medic. And with refueling, you kind of have to wait for another player to run out of gas and be like,
well,
that's what I'm getting at. Go ahead.
So we're actually currently working on refueling missions. And we're doing 2 types for the initial release. We're going to do player to AI refueling. So this is where I have my Starfarer. I can take a contract from the faction, which I'll leave as a surprise for later, not because I forgot the faction name. We'll offer you the contract. You'll go. There will be a ship that's out of fuel, and you will go up to it and you'll fill it full of fuel. And that might not all, that depending on where you are, potentially what system you are, you might turn up and they didn't need fuel, but they want your fuel bags because maybe it's valuable.
What? Someone abusing the service beacon system?
Yeah.
How dare they?
We might also have ones where you've refueled the person, and then maybe some people come to finish the job off or something. some pirates or whatever. And then we have the opposite, which is going to be AI two-player refueling. This is where you put up a beacon, and this is because the work to get the PvP beacon done is just a little bit extra. So what we're going to do for the first release is have it so you can make one, but we have an AI ship to come to refuel you. So the AI ship will come, you'll ask it to dock, you'll dock with it, close, and then it will give you your fuel for a sort of set fee.
Yeah. So, I mean, that second one is certainly interesting for the broader community, but it having the missions that spawn an AI who's run out of gas and actually have a purpose, having something to do with your Starfarer and other potential refueling ships that isn't just waiting for another player to choose not to backspace, kill themselves. It's a long time coming.
Yep.
But we also have the intent of making the player-to-player refueling more accessible.
Yes.
In comparison to what we have right now.
Torsten has plans.
Yep.
I always have.
Yep.
Quality of life.
Always.
The Gaming Tribunal says in all capitals, "Stop adding combat into industry." To which I will say, no. We just had a whole big conversation about that. It's all mixed, guys. It's all mixed. That's the game we're making. It's all mixed. We've been saying that for years. Whatever conversations people are still having, it's all mixed. It's just like the world. It's different security sectors. You'll be less likely to have it happen in Terra. Less, a little more likely to have it happen in Stanton. And if you're in Pyro, go with God.
Go with God.
Or the next closest approximation. When it comes to salvage gameplay, to a few more salvage questions since we got the moth out recently. Moth. When it comes to
Can't
I was
spell.
about to say something earlier. When it comes to salvage gameplay, is it still planned that we will be siphoning fuel and oxygen or using salvage charges to gain access to wrecks?
So I think back in the days we talked about siphoning is it siphoning or siphoning? Siphoning fuel and oxygen from derelict ships or from recently deactivated ships. So we didn't find a meaningful place of that in the entire gameplay loop, because right now fuel, we really would like, on the fuel side, we would rather encourage refining and the fuel gathering. So I think there was also a scooping question in regards to that. So we rather would like to focus on those gameplay mechanics. So mining to get quantanium, refine it into quantum fuel. Also then the scooping part to get hydrogen out of like gas clouds or atmospheres, and then refine that into the corresponding fuel, rather than you like invading ships and then like putting in a plastic tube and moving it from one ship to the other. So that all jokes aside, I think the more interesting gameplay here is more on the scooping part and on the refining and mining part. So we decide, okay, this is not the most necessary part of the salvage gameplay. So we put it on hold for the time being. Same for the atmosphere. Right now, when we were talking about that, the concept of the life support generator as we have it right now with the engineering gameplay wasn't that well defined yet, or wasn't at the point where we are at now, because it also went through a lot of iterations. And right now with the actual life support generator, with the filter items there that can actually generate the oxygen or the gases for the ships, this is also like an unnecessity at this point. About the charging breaches, though, yeah, they are still on the table. So we are discussing them very regularly, but then we realize we don't have the time to do them, or we don't have the people to do it in time. And then we're like, yeah, sad. And then we move on and we talk about it at a later point again.
Yeah. I'm gonna address this because it came up, but Commander Tanith says your industrial players don't want constant combat in their industrial missions. A rare chance is one thing, but adding combat into every aspect of the game is lazy. Commander Tanith, I'm not saying we're going to add combat into every aspect of the game. that's a kind of a gross misappropriation of what we've been talking about here when we talked about this earlier. It's there will be a chance, is what we said, and the chance changes depending on what system you're in. As the law system continues to develop, those chances will reduce in the systems that you expect it to. There's a continual struggle.
But didn't even Elliot say that there's missions where you can get, but there are also others where you will not?
Yeah.
So it's also like should be very clearly visible in the mission.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The mission will tell you.
Yeah.
There's a continual struggle in building an MMO out over the last, the PU's been up and running since December 2015, so about 10 years at this point. Running a live environment in the middle of your game development and stuff, and it's this constant pull between developing for today and developing for tomorrow. Anything that you build for today is almost guaranteed to have to be redone because of something that's coming down the line for tomorrow. So, when possible, you're faced every single day with 100 little micro decisions that
Nobody
do we
even
build it this
talked
way
to
for
me
today, or do we
today.
build it this way for tomorrow? Because we know where we're going, and most of the time, you want to build for tomorrow. You want to build systems that can scale and that can evolve into this vision that you're going towards. People have noticed I've mentioned Terra a couple times. I'm simply referring back to the Road to 1.0 from Rich Tyler's presentation at CitizenCon 2 years ago, where he said, the Road to 1.0 includes 5 systems, with the last one being Terra, the safest of all the systems. The idea being, it's towards the middle there, towards the middle of the empire you're safer. And then as you get farther and farther out from the empire, you find more and more danger and risk. That is not the same as what Commander Tanith says, adding combat to every aspect of the game is lazy. It is building a living, breathing system of measured risk and reward that then you get to choose. You get to have the agency of playing in the areas that you want to play in and accepting the risk versus the reward that you want. It's not lazy, it's allowing you the agency to choose. And that's what we're building towards. That's not always easy to see at this moment. And so I understand where the frustration comes from. I mean, I've experienced the frustration myself. You log into Twitch streams, you see the frustration every day. I just encourage folks to remember that decisions are often made based on where we're going, not necessarily weird things showing up in the not necessarily where we are right now. It's just a continual balance, and I think we're doing a pretty good job. In last year, 2-star systems. We're going whenever the crafting system on the way, inventory rework. It's hard. It is hard to look at some aspects of the game today and be like, why don't you just fix that and whatever. It's like the issues with the moth right now. There are people who have just bought a moth and they have the issues with the buffer size being wrong and the salvage beams they're slow. Is that what's happening with the salvage beams? I don't have the issue council here in front of me, and these are all things that are being adjusted and worked on for 4.7. And so this is just, that's the next time we can do major code additions to the game. We can't fix everything with hotfix. It's difficult. And I saw some of the responses there. I want to encourage people, rewatch that section. Elliot was very eloquent in his answer, and I encourage you to see it again. It's about giving you the choice to play how you want, and with the amount of risk and the amount of reward that you seek.
One more thing to add on to that is the Star Citizen is very unique because of scale. And when you're building content for something that's got an infinite scale, you need variability. So chances of other things happening so that it doesn't get stale. And that's what it is. And it will be controlled, as you've said, per the systems, per the law. But we need variability to achieve the scale and make it feel not the same old, same old.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll wrap up the show, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here and to answer questions from the community. We'll be back next week. I think our SCL next week is with the audio team. So there'll be a thread up on Spectrum tomorrow.
That's kind of
Posing your
boring.
questions. We'll do the same like we did today. today. You guys submit your questions. We'll pose them all to the audio team. I think we're going to do a focus on spaceship audio, which they've been doing a whole lot of work on. So look for that thread on Spectrum tomorrow. Until next time, Torsten, Elliot, thank you so much for hanging out and for answering questions and for being candid as always. Bye, everybody.
Okay. Okay. All right, chat. I am. Okay, chat. I'm seeing if anyone's entered the contest. Doesn't look like they have. How long? I don't know. Damn it. Yeah. Okay, if anyone's interested in entering, please do so now. I don't see anybody on. Nose. I might start earlier in the day. That way I can actually get somebody. Oh. Which is stupid, but yeah, I might have to. Sucks. Yeah. Okay, chat. I'm not getting anybody. So I'm going to have to call it for the night. I'll be back tomorrow. Try again. See y'all tomorrow. 07, everyone. I will see you tomorrow.